Hello, everybody. It is everybody's favorite golf daddy, Tintle Death, or something like that. I know. And if you're rejoining us, you're a previous subscriber. Just know, you've probably been wondering where I've been the last few months, and we're gonna answer a lot of that in this video. And if you're a new person that's never been to this channel, yeah, let's just say I'm just gonna run you up the stat. That's my dog sneezing in the background. That's right, Levi. Anyways, just gonna run you up to stats pretty much. Let's just say I've disappeared off social media and the internet the last couple months and privated everything. And now that we're back to YouTube again, I don't plan on doing highly edited videos or none of that crap. Just straight up video discussions, I guess. Old YouTube style, I guess. So, anyways, in today's video, we are gonna talk about. You get over there, Levi? Oh my god, I don't know what's up with him. Anyways, in today's video, we are going to be talking about, social media, being a TikTok star, being a social media influencer, right? There's some of you guys that are probably watching this. You guys, have been social media influencers. You probably are one right now. Maybe you're not a super big, famous social media influencer, right? Maybe you're just a small little one, but you're rising up in the numbers, right? I know, it feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to rise up, but I'm going to show you a different perspective. And I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with, being a social media influencer. You want to be a social media influencer, go ahead. Tintle Dev supports you. You're having doubts about it, or you need opinions, or maybe you're just looking for someone. Maybe you're feeling frustrated right now, and you need to find a YouTuber out there that has the same views as you on this topic. Or you just need your voice heard. So you're trying to look for someone that, is filling you. You've come to the right place. So let's talk about it. Anyways, if you know me, then you know how controversial my rise has been. If you don't know me, then it's a good thing you don't know me, because I'm telling you, you would rather not. Anyways, my name is Tintle Death. And I used to be pretty popular in the alt community on both TikTok and YouTube. A lot of my TikToks blew up. A lot of my TikToks that I put on TikTok, I would then upload them to YouTube Shorts, and they would do huge numbers on YouTube, right? And I used to be a social media influencer. Now, before anyone says, well, aren't you making these videos pretty much still shows that you're a social media influencer? Yes and no. Am I technically making content for social media like YouTube? Yes, but am I here trying to influence people and trying to tell them, hey, go buy this product, or hey, go do these things, or trying to be celebrity-esque again? No, I'm just doing music, and we're just doing the regular YouTube video stuff. We're not doing the social media crap anymore. Done with that. But as a former social media star, I was rising up the ranks quick. TikToks were blowing up. One TikTok I had hit over 1 million. A lot of those TikToks were doing big numbers. A lot of them I would re-upload to YouTube Shorts. They would do big numbers. My music was doing really good in terms of streams too. My music's still doing good in terms of streams, right? And I'm working on another project right now. And then June 2024, I disappeared. 3 months I've been gone. People by the time you're probably seeing this, maybe it's been 4 months. Privated my entire TikTok, privated, all my YouTube Shorts, privated almost everything. Now, of course, you're going to be able to find those videos. Nothing's gone off the internet forever. We know that. And as a college student, we actually kind of had this discussion in class the other day. So you can still find some of that stuff out there. Someone's probably saved it to some hard drive or some crap out there. Who knows? But you're probably wondering, why would you give it up? Why would you give it up knowing you were becoming famous? Knowing there was, potential to become rich off this stuff? Why would you give it up? And don't get me wrong, that was pretty much, one of the biggest parts of me being a social media influencer. The main objective, this wasn't the original objective, but this was the main objective as I was doing this. The main objective was to pretty much get big enough to where I could monetize and make money off of my content, to the point where I could eventually quit my regular job and just do what I want to do, right? Anyone and everyone would love to do that. You don't have to work anymore. You can just make social media content, but if you're a social media creator, if you're a TikTok personnel, you understand what it's like to see those numbers, to see sometimes they do good and other times they sink, my lovely. And so the question is, why would anyone quit social media? And I can tell you, but let's get into today's discussion. So I was a TikTok star, enjoying, the fruits of my labor. Everything was going so good. Me and my former friend at the time, we were talking about it, and, we had plans to take my TikTok to the next level. We were going to put money in it. We were going to transform it even further. We were going to, take the content I was doing, and we were going to go to an entirely different approach and alienate ourselves from my audience. And we were going to become big. We were going to become millionaires. We were going to screw the hustle, man. We were hustling now. So, we could get out of the, we don't have to grind at a shitty day job anymore. Nobody wants to do a 9-to-5, but, you have to in this country. That's a fact of life. You got to do a 9-to-5, whatever, right? And then, boom, everything caught up to me. I was working on so many different things. I was working on music. I was working on, school. I was, dealing with a lot of stress from work. There were so many different things I was working on and so many different things I was dealing with to where I was like, I need a mental health break. I need to leave social media. I need to leave all of this stuff. But I decided to private everything, because if I privated everything, right, and this is smart, let's say you as a social media creator, content creator, you want to, temporarily take a break. And, you kind of want to de-stress. I would recommend turning off your notifications or privating everything. Because when I privated everything, nobody could comment on any of my stuff anymore. So I wasn't, being completely bombarded by, just random hate comments or random love comments or whatever the frick. Like, I'm telling you, it was so weird. It was so weird knowing I had this little fan base that was just out here dying for me. And it's so weird to even think about. You have people that support you like that. It's weird. But I decided to take a mental health break, and it's been quite a last couple months, and I've done really good the last month. Like, I've gone back to therapy, and things are going really good right now. But I don't think I'm gonna ever go back to full-time social media because I'll explain that later. But you've probably found yourself in that situation. You're either all the video editing that takes a lot of time out of you, it takes a lot of energy. You look at the numbers on this TikTok or this, Facebook post or this Instagram post, it's not doing as well as previous posts. So you try to recreate, the videos or the content that made you blow up. And then when you recreate it, it doesn't do as good either. You're becoming frustrated. You're becoming stressed out. And your audience is yearning for content. But you know how long it takes to make, hold on. You know how long it takes to make that content. I think my camera just glitched out. Sorry, y'all. And then on top of your relationships, on top of your regular life, on top of all these different things that you're working on, it all adds up and it becomes a game of cat and mouse between you and stress as a social media content creator. You tell yourself, a few more TikToks and I will never have to work a job again. A few more Instagram posts and I can get a fashion model contract, whatever, right? And if, it actually works out, congratulations, I'm proud for you. If a few more TikToks you blow up and it works out, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Tintel Dev's proud of you. But a lot of people aren't going to talk about the harsh realities of that stress. You work so hard on making content after content after content. You blow up, but it's like you're going nowhere. And it's not even just that. You have to deal with all the stress, like I was saying, of having to make that content, of having to hope your next TikTok blows up or one of your next videos or post blows up, right? And it's not even just that. Then you have to deal with hate comments, which, okay, hate comments, they don't affect me. I've heard, I've got a ton of crazy ones, and I actually approve a lot of my hate comments because the YouTube system and TikTok system tries to shadow ban those comments. But I believe in freedom of speech on my platform. You got to criticize me? Go ahead, say what you want to say. But it becomes overbearing to have to respond to comments to keep your engagement up, because on one hand, you're having to respond to people on TikTok. On the other hand, you're having to respond to people on YouTube Shorts. Then on another hand, you're having to respond to all these messages you're getting on Instagram. So you're responding to all these people to make your supporters, to make your fan base feel welcomed, while you're doing all these other things in your life, your relationships, your friendships, going to work. And the stress just eats at you, man. It eats at you. And you can say, well, why don't you hire a social media account manager? But you can't afford a social media account manager. You're your only person. You're your only person who can do this. And that's why you're hoping eventually you'll get big with this. And then you can hire that team and you never have to worry again, right? But the stress is real. The stress does add up. And whoever you are out there, you chasing those numbers, hoping to become the next viral TikTok sensation, the next viral, Instagram sensation. Chase your dreams as hard as you can, but be a little realistic in chasing those dreams. Understand, if it's affecting you mentally, take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's good example. I've taken a break from social media. I took a several month break from social media content creation. Came back and I came back more popular than ever, right? Yeah, you might temporarily kill off some of your momentum, but during that time that you take a break for yourself, you come up with some of your best ideas. And these last 3 months I've been taking off, I've come up with some of my best music ideas. We're working on a project called The Symphony of Suffering that's almost done. It sounds so beautiful right now. It's so beautiful, right? I've come across a lot of more music artists. I've got out in the real world and I've got to enjoy a lot more things and disconnected from the internet. You forget what it's like to be a human. You forget what it's like to feel pain, to feel the hurt, and recognize that it's okay to feel that way. You forget what it's like to go out with friends. You forget what it's like to spend time with your family, because you're so focused on chasing this goal. And that's fine, That's fine, putting all this time and energy into this goal. But you got to remember as an individual to take care of your health. So there's that. Social media becomes overbearing, especially when you're your own manager and you can't hire no one to manage your content for you. Fact of life. And that's partially a good part of the reason why, I left social media, why I left TikTok. Dude, I had to deal with so many people on a daily basis. People wanted me to use their music in TikToks. People wanted me to, me having to respond to comments to keep the engagement up. Me having to come up with the next big idea that would blow me up on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Always trying to, make sure what I wear in the next video is different. Working on music, trying to get music collabs going. So many different things. You have to, on top of your relationships, it just becomes overbearing. And then on top of, stuff I was dealing with outside of the internet, I was stressed, man. I was anxiety struck. And I do not regret losing all of those people, killing my entire channel, killing my entire TikTok. I don't regret it. And I hope you don't regret it. I hope you don't regret it if you ever decide to go that route and take a break for yourself, because there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll also say this. So that's on the topic of stress. So let's talk about, and this is the thing most people don't talk to you about, the highs, the power of being a social media influencer. And I feel like this really needs to be discussed, because I really felt it. When, and it wasn't my first time being a social media influencer. I've been a social media influencer under different aliases on different platforms over the years, but this was my most successful endeavor, next to a YouTube channel that's now banned that I ran when I was a teenager. You have a very welcoming, supporting community that supports your content. And there's a lot of people that supported me. And it was all love in the beginning. And I loved, the nice response, the wholesomeness of the online community out there, the goth community, the emo community, alternatives community, whatever. I said alternatives with an S, alternative community. No, all love and game. But as you rise, you can develop an ego trip. You can feel like you're better than other creators. You can feel like you're better than people in your life because they're not doing nothing with their lives. Which I'm going to tell you, I mean, I had a friend who felt like that. And I'm going to tell you, when I was doing it, like the deeper I got into making TikTok content, the more I started to feel that little ego trip. And you try to keep yourself humble, but you cannot, you struggle to keep yourself humble knowing those numbers are going up. People, you're going viral like on a monthly, weekly basis. You feel, and knowing that, and good example, one of my TikToks went viral. I literally, not even just on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, I had my fans going out of their way to defend me from criticism. Anytime they saw a hate comment, they would go and attack those people. I didn't even have to ask them to. And I don't condone that sort of crap when it came to, my peeps. I did not want people going out of their way and going to harass someone for, saying whatever criticism they had about me, right? Criticism is criticism, whatever. Can it be mean? Yes. Can it be nice? Yes. But, and I'm telling you, when I had these fans, defending me, it felt good. And I'm not going to lie, it felt good. And you, as a content creator, you've probably had that. And it felt like a whole power trip. You felt like you were invincible because you knew your fans could do anything for you. They could go harass a TikToker if, you felt like it. If you had beef with someone, your fans were there to support you. And that's the fact of the matter. And it gives you this very weird, egocentric, selfish, narcissistic attitude towards people. And it's not a good thing. I don't care how much of, that whole little Sigma grind set crap you have. It's not a good thing. Do we get it? You're doing more than most in your life. You're over here, you're hustling and shit. I understand outside of this social media crap, outside of the internet, I'm over here doing, hustling too, if you want to call it that, studying another language right now. I literally spent I went on a whole journey just to get this gaming PC because I couldn't afford it. So I went out of my way to try to hustle my way to get this freaking gaming PC. And it was insane. The lengths I went to. I set a goal and I made sure I achieved that goal. But all these things I'm working outside of social media, but it gives you a power boost. It gives you a power boost. You treat people like shit. You start posting more controversial, more outrageous content, not just to drive up the algorithm, but because, those are your actual thoughts. You post a lot more negative shit. It's just a fucking, echo chamber of self-absorbing, narcissistic bullshit, dude. And you get caught up in that and you feel so good about yourself, but it's actually really bad. And you're too late into it and you realize the harm you've done. You realize the things you've said about people that you should have not said. And you told yourself years ago or all those months ago, hey, I would never do this shit. And here you are now as a social media content creator. And you successfully done those things you said you wouldn't. So, you got to be careful of that ego power trip you get from, the views going up, from supporters coming to defend you, because it's a real thing. Tell your supporters to calm down, right? Check in on yourself. It was a moment of self-awareness for me where it hit me and I was like, holy frick, dude. Look at what I've created. I literally would create content that would cause people to freaking send death threats to each other. Death threats, which is bonkers to me. To me, it's just me making a 6-7 second video on TikTok. Suddenly I have my own fans sending death threats to all these, man, it's not cool. It's not great. It's not fun. So, the social media power trip thing, right? If you're a social media influencer or former influencer, you've probably felt that at one point, right? You've probably felt that at one point, or you're probably feeling it now. That's right, Levi. That's my dog. Anyways. And, if you think that you're not feeling it right now, but you're going up in those numbers, do some self-reflection. Do some unbiased self-reflection, which I know that's more likely impossible these days. Or ask someone who's not your friend, a complete internet stranger, to judge for you. Ask for multiple opinions, multiple neutral opinions, so you can understand, if you're doing something right, you're doing something wrong, so on and so forth. I'd say the next thing And this one is something a lot of people don't talk about. When what you post online comes back to haunt you. And we actually talked about this in college class not too long ago. And this is a real thing because it's come back to haunt me. Fact of the matter. There's employers, a lot of employers, and especially if you're trying to secure a really good, high-paying job, those employers are going to do social media background checks to try to find anything on you. Whereas if you're working a job like a Waffle House, they don't care. They don't care. But if you're working at a place, high-profile company, good paying money, they're going to, try to run all types of different background checks. Try to find out if you're a YouTube creator, if you're a Twitch streamer, so they can see, if you've said any spicy things out there that's going to give the company a bad PR rep, right? And well, a lot of the content I've posted online has unfortunately come back to haunt me. Some of the things have caused me to have worsening relationships with people, and you can't take that back. You can't take that back because you look back at some of those relationships and you're like, man, I shouldn't have said that thing to that person. Shouldn't have said that thing to that person, right? Look what you created now. Lost a friend. You lost a good relationship. Look at what you put out there. Congratulations. Are you happy with yourself? When I say relationship, I don't mean romantic. I just mean, mutual, like between coworkers, friends, whatever, right? Secondly, it comes back to haunt you in the workplace. Good example. And I talked about this in the video where, I was talking about being goth in the South. Good example. They found out at work. Well, I kind of insinuated it, but eventually it was going to happen anyways. They found out about my TikTok content and stuff like that. And guess what happened? There was a whole fuss about it between coworkers. One of the guys that saw my TikTok content went up to one of my best friends at work and was like, "Yo, did you know your best friend over here is a satanic individual?" How well do you think that went down? That really did not go down too well in my work department. Is this some stupid workplace drama shit? Yes, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Then it led to discussions at work between me and my supervisor. It was just so damn stupid. And, that's the fact of the matter, right? You post this stuff online. Someone at work, wants to find out who you are because, you have a Facebook profile, but you only use it for marketplace. You're not a fan of social media, right? And people at work found out about all this shit you're posting out online. It creates unneeded, workplace drama. And this is the fact of the matter, right? And damn, this is going to sound so weird for me to say. When you post things online, you have to accept the fact that there's going to be some criticism, right? Because you're posting on a public platform where anyone can say anything. I've seen all types of shit out there posted. I've heard all types of shit. Anyone can post anything. So a lot of times you're open to criticism. What boggles my mind is when people in the workplace actively go out of their way to try to dig up shit on you from your socials and try to use that against you at work and tries to start stupid workplace drama. And it should never be like that. It should never be like that, right? You go there to work to make a check. There's no other reason. Unless you're there to, move up in the company, or unless you're there to make a career or whatever. Unless you're there to, I don't know. I don't know what else you're doing if you're not there to make an honest living and pay your bills, right? It should never have to be a discussion of, oh, look what Tintle Death posted online, a few years ago, but Tintle Death isn't the same Tintle Death from a few years ago, and now it's come back to haunt you. Now you got to explain yourself to everyone. People treat you differently, and that's the fact of the matter. That's a hard fact of the matter. So, that's the other thing that you accept about leaving social media, and this is the thing. Because we've already talked about these main few things. The question is, okay, all this crap you've said about social media, what are you trying to say about social media? If you want to be a content creator on TikTok, YouTube, any of that stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a social media influencer, a fitness influencer, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand there's going to be consequences. There's pros and cons. Pros, you become discovered. People want to, endorse you because you're becoming popular. Cons, you have to deal with, backlash, losing your job, or missing out on the promotion from your job because they found out you posted some political crap online that pissed off everybody in the office. You have to deal with all this added stress, family members not viewing you the same anymore. It's a harsh reality. Harsh reality. Should it be that way? No. Should people, but also at the same time understand that when you post things online, even though you're not asking for it, even though you are not asking for people to criticize you, people will do it anyways if you post it out there online. And that sucks. It really does suck. I always believe we should spread more peace, love, and positivity, But, yeah, if you want to be a social media influencer, go do it. But, I've kind of found in my lifetime, in recent times with me, because the last 3 months getting off of socials, I literally deleted every social media app on my phone. Every social media app. And I came back to reality. I went hiking in the woods over here. It was really nice. Done a little bit of camping. I've tried out a lot of new things. Just sticking back to reality, not knowing what the fuck is going on in this world, having to ask coworkers or having to do some research myself. Just being back here in the real world, it's helped me a lot to deal with my anxiety, to quit using social media as a distraction when it comes to my stress or anxiety or personal relationship issues and stuff like that. Because you can use these things to distract you as much as you want. Oh, I'll sit down and I'll watch 3 hours worth of TikTok, but you're just distracting yourself from a lifelong of pain. You don't, try to get this anxiety crap down now. And anxiety is always going to be a lifelong thing, right? You're always going to have anxiety. It's going to be on and off, depending on the situation. But if you don't try to, get it solved now, it's going to be much worse in the long run. This anxiety you're dealing with now, the stress you're dealing with now, it's going to be a lot worse in the long run. And I don't regret, all the, having to wake up in the middle of the night to notifications, all the different stresses, the worries. I don't regret missing out on all that stuff or potentially killing, me becoming famous on freaking the internet and stuff because I decided I wanted to choose being back in the real world, going outside, just enjoying the real world, getting off the internet because it's so fucking drama filled. And yeah, you're going to have to address drama in your life eventually, but it's nothing but drama. It's nothing but drama. And so if you want to be a social media influencer, go for it. But I decided I'm done. I'm done trying to influence people. I'm just going to make these discussion videos and we're just going to talk. So until next time, this is 10 till death. Peace.